As a gamer, my preference would be to pick the soldier with the most speed and surprise, and to pick the soldier that had the most maneuverability on the ground.
I wouldn't pick a country per se, I'd just pick someone with the most appropriate equipment. If I'm going to go into an urban environment, I'm not going to take a 50 caliber sniper rifle. I don't need a Barrett in that situation because I'm not going to be reaching out and touching people at 2Ks. I want something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to move, maybe like an H&K 417, something like that, something suppressed maybe.
One of the reasons why we like Medal of Honor so much is because of the realism, because of the choice of weaponry, and because of the realistic nature of the warfighters involved. And we can really get into a game that has had very good back end and consulting to make a very real-to-life game.
The video games these days, especially Medal of Honor, is great because it is so realistic in the warfighting role. What you don't see is those sort of, I guess, off-camera moments, like the non-warfighting. I mean, war is 95% boredom and 5% uncontrollable action.
We're also really difficult to play video games and watch action films with because we sit there and pick it apart.
You couldn't really have a game featuring Tier 1 soldiers without featuring Australia. I mean, it'd just be sacrilegious. We've been used in every conflict there's really ever been. We've worked with everyone. We're just that sort of a bit of an unsung force that only really in recent years has gotten any sort of recognition.
Easy. The world's going right before our eyes.
Back up! Back up!
We're sort of the force of choice worldwide when it comes to particularly UN-related missions and working with the Americans, the US theatres of war.
You're probably like the crazy little brother as well. We go out with a lot less kit, do similar sort of jobs, and just sort of, I guess, put ourselves in situations that a lot of other countries wouldn't.
It also makes us very tenacious warfighters, knowing that we have to rely on ourselves. If you back anyone into a corner and they don't have anywhere else to run or any other options, it's going to make them a hell of a lot more tenacious on the ground. And Australians have always had that.
Probably aligned with the American and Canadian forces the most. We're in similar theatres of warfare. We've got similar styles of warfare as well that meld in quite well together. Our strengths play to their weaknesses and vice versa. Like from helicopter support, they got a lot of gear and they got very experienced pilots and they're willing to crash if you need to. Whereas some of the countries who don't have the amount of birds in the air are very asset conscious, so they might not take as many risks when risks need to be taken.
Having access to all the equipment and ranges that they have OS is pretty cool because they do have a lot of really cool kit to play with, and they're very good warfighters in their own right.